Hey everybody, it's Tina from the Lovers Conjure. Today I wanted to make a video just kind of clarifying exactly what I am, what I'm doing, who I work for, all of those types of things. This is a question I get asked pretty frequently in different types of ways, online usually. But in person, people are always afraid to ask it. So it's quite interesting to see people's reactions when they realize that I'm a professional witch. And then they don't know what to do with themselves. They're like, oh my goodness, should I be afraid? Well, here, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do, the type of magic that I do, all of that stuff so that you guys know. So I have three main roles, okay? I'm a channel, first of all, so I channel messages from the divine, okay? I channel messages from the spirit realm, okay? So it's not just necessarily from the divine. I can channel messages from ancestors, from deities, from saints, from whoever, or sometimes lower level entities. That's possible as well. I'm pretty highly protected spiritually, so I don't have to worry too much about, becoming like, there's always a fear when people are channeling using, tools of divination or even without tools of divination. I use tarot cards as my preferred tool, but I have other ways as well. But there's always a fear that some, negative or dark entity will come through you as a channel because you're allowing yourself to channel messages, and take you over. But if you're channeling, if you're channeling from, higher energy, so the divine, God, basically, if you're channeling godly energy, you're going to be so well, protected that it's going to be really difficult. Not saying impossible, nothing's impossible, but it's going to be difficult to be like, possessed by something or overcome by some energies. I can channel them right through me, and then, it's an energy exchange, but it's not like, sorry, it's not like, oh, I leave it and then, I'm depleted for a month or anything like that. Okay, so I am a channel. So I use, as I was saying, tarot cards are my main tool of divination. I love them. I started reading them when I was 13 years old, and I've been doing it ever since. Sorry, friends. Simon, what are you doing, buddy? Knocking everything over, huh? All right, buddy. Hi. He's so handsome. He can just get away with anything. So yes, I use tarot cards as my main tool of divination, but I also use other means sometimes. I've used pretty much everything. I've used Ouija boards, I've used pendulums, I've used, I love the dowsing rods. Those are my favorite. I have a couple of sets of those, stuff like that. I also have a little bit of clairvoyance. So I'm not going to call myself a clairvoyant or a psychic because that's not, I don't think that I'm in tune enough to be able to have that title. And again, you kind of have to declare yourself what you are, in this profession. So I declare myself a channel because I can channel messages. I do have a little bit of clairvoyance sometimes, but it's not something that I can really control. There's some people that are so tuned in that they can control like who they pull messages for. They can call people, They can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I don't have that. I have a couple other little things, that I can do occasionally, like in dreams and things like that. I can sometimes project myself if I want to go visit somebody or go somewhere else in dreams. So that's been a fun thing to play with. And then, sometimes I get what I call downloads. So download is kind of like a wave of information that comes in when, the creator wants me to see something. It can be in a situation where maybe there's something in my life that I'm naive to or, not seeing, that I need to see about somebody or a situation. And then, creator usually send a download, and that's just like a flash. It's hard to explain. It's like a little movie, but it maybe lasts a few seconds. But the movie in my mind is like several minutes, I guess, because it shows me like snapshots of scenes and scenarios and people and things like that are associated with this, thing or person, whatever. And then it's usually like some sort of like wake up call for me or call to attention at least on something. So, and I need that because my next job is I am a light worker. So that is what I mainly categorize myself as. I don't belong to any religion. I'm not affiliated with any any sort of organized religion at all. I guess you would consider me a spiritualist, if anything. But I definitely do consider myself a light worker. So a light worker is someone who is, their job is to, spread love and light, basically. Like, it's bringing, divine energy into situations and people and places and things, working against the dark as well is part of my job, a big part of my job. I get attacked quite frequently by the dark, pretty much constantly at this point. It's been, heavy spiritual warfare over here for the last year, but, I'm good. I'm still standing. So yes, I do consider myself a light worker. And for those of you that are interested, I'm going to link the Light Worker's Handbook. And again, this is not a religious thing at all. This is just literally the handbook for light workers. And it's a audiobook, but it's available here on YouTube for free. And I'll put it down there. And this is what I subscribe to. So these are my spiritual beliefs. This is the guidebook that I follow. Not that I, need a guidebook, but I go back and listen to it occasionally when I need to kind of get a refresher on how to deal with something, it's a good guide for light workers. If you are a true light worker, you will find so much value in this book. Like it's crazy. And then it introduces you as well to Cryon of Magnetic Service, who's amazing. He's also a channel. So there's that. So I'm a light worker, and then I consider myself a high priestess. Okay, so that would be someone who can practice magic. So one of the gifts that I'd been given along my spiritual journey, it's like I go on these like journeys, right? And then I'll maybe go, I don't know, I'll get the ability to do something else or see something else or hear something else or whatever it is, spiritually, channel something else, and then like I'll go like maybe a year and nothing will really change. I'll just kind of be in like a flow state, and then I guess just perfecting those skills as much as possible, and then bam, I'll get hit with something else. So the magic was something that I didn't expect. I didn't really, I studied it extensively in my teenage years, but I didn't really practice it. I did have people in my family that did, but not like openly, not anything that, I don't know how to explain it, like nothing like what I have. Like I'm very public and forthcoming with the fact that I do that. So my rules of engagement on that stuff are, I call it on the divine. I work with your ancestors, my ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels. Again, sometimes I'll petition saints or other high vibrational entities. I work also with the Orisha, which is the 7 African powers. That's the first group I was called to work with, if that makes sense. And they are traditional to hoodoo and voodoo as well. They're Caribbean influence. It's you can read up on them, but anyway, Elegua was one of the first deities that I ever worked with, and because Elegua is the gatekeeper, so you can't work with any of the deities. And this is like Oshun, Oya, Yemaya, Chango. They're amazing deities to work with, and they're so powerful. I rarely call upon them, to be honest with you, only in a case of like extreme need, because I don't know, like I feel like I have like a special relationship with them. So it's, I only call upon them like when I really, need them. And then that pretty much gets, their focus as well, because I'm not constantly petitioning to them for things. But I keep an altar to all of them in the shop. Yeah, I love them. So I work with them. I'm starting to work with Marie Laveau. She is who I just set up her altar. I've been wanting to work with her for a couple of years, but when I start working with any entity, I do it right. You know what I mean? I'm doing offerings like with Elegua. I was making him coffee every morning. I was doing everything that I could find, everything that I could do to show that I was very serious about wanting to work with them and being able to do this type of work, and so that's why that permission was granted to me. But the other reason I think it was granted to me is because I don't use it for nefarious purposes. That is my personal rule. So I extend that as well to the clients that I serve, as much as possible. So when I'm casting for someone, the rules say, not for nefarious purposes. The spells are set up in a way that they're blocked from being nefarious on my end, because I'm the one doing the casting. So I do everything, calling in, the highest light, basically, that I can for that situation. And I'll explain how the dark works in a second. But it's, what was I going to say? Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'm proud and happy to be kind of the gatekeeper, of magic, as much as it's been, an incredibly rewarding but also extremely draining experience. I'm like drained, at the end of the day now. Like it's a lot energetically, but it's, again, it's something that I know is a very powerful tool, and I appreciate that. And I use it for purposes, of the greater and higher good. So, it's not everybody agrees with it, and it's, people say it's wrong to manipulate energy and things like that. But me lighting the candle is no different than you manifesting something, with your mind. And, if you don't believe in manifestation, you're probably, I don't know why you would be watching my channel if you didn't, but that type of thing. So it's like, it's nothing different than saying a prayer, you're manifesting it, right? You're praying to a deity. For me, and again, I know everybody's got their own religious rules and books and guidelines and things that they have to follow. So again, not everybody agrees with magic and the ability to manipulate energy or utilizing that ability, but I do. I think it's, an incredibly amazing tool that we have, or not, most people have if they want it, available to them, and you can do a lot of really, really good things with it. So, so that is what I do. Okay, so on the end note of that, we'll talk about dark work. We say, Tina, well, you're a light worker, but you offer a curse on your Etsy site. Yes, I do offer a curse on my Etsy site. So the way I would do my curses then is to call in upon one of my deities or entities that I work with already that can help me do some, shake-up work. Usually that's going to be my grandmother. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? She was a pistol. She was a firecracker. So that's going to be my grandmother if I need somebody's, butt kicked, okay? And then again, she was not evil in any sense of the word. I know she's in heaven because I went and visited her in heaven, which is another reason I started this line of work, but I'll tell that in another video. Anyway, or I can call in again on one of the Orisha, Chango, kind of Ilegwa, like there's some pretty hefty duty deities as well if I need that. So, but yeah, even spirit guides too, though. I mean, in a case where, again, if it's like a breakup spell, right? Okay. I don't do them for people that just want to steal somebody's partner. You know what I mean? That's not what I do. And it's very clearly stated on my site. Now, whether people try to trick me and maybe book the spell and then try to word it so it doesn't seem like what it is, I mean, trust me, I catch on to this stuff 99% of the time. But again, and this is worded as well, that's their karma. You know what I mean? If you're coming to me, I'm, assuming you're following my rules and you're, coming with integrity, because that's what I'm asking for. For everybody. And that's just because, again, that's what we do. We operate in, a positive energy with integrity. And, so, if somebody squeaks through and gets one cast or something that the intentions were not good, selfish, low vibrational, whatever, I look at it like, well, you tricked me, so now you've got double karma. Not only you have karma for doing the spell, but you have karma for tricking me as well. So again, it's whether or not this person wants to bring those type of repercussions on themselves. I mean, hopefully not, but you can only tell people so many times or talk them out of things so many times. And again, I'd rather have me casting it in that situation than, another witch that maybe doesn't operate in the, highest light, or, someone that doesn't have any rules, on what they do. I don't know. Like I said, I'd rather it come to me. But, in the hexes and curses, so the only time that we do those, which is rare, I probably do about 12 a year, something like that. And that's, serving thousands of clients. because I don't take every case by any means. I very select. You have to go through a whole consultation process, as you do with any dark work in my shop, which is just separation and curses, or the curse. But the curse, again, is calling in on the deities, the ancestors, whatever, you know, maybe your ancestors as well, you know, just to come give somebody a shakeup, you know. And the way that I let them roll is I just ask for exactly what they deserve. And just say, may they get exactly what they deserve. And that's how it flies, you know. I don't do like generational curses or anything like that. Nothing that's going to have like a long lasting impact. Typically what I'm doing with a curse is a heavy banishing, because we're trying to get rid of a demon, which is attached, you know, to the client or whoever in some way, or is bothering them, or is a threat to their safety, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, we're doing heavy banishing, and then we're, you know, getting a little sweet revenge in there as well, put them back in their place. So yeah, that's what I do with curses. So all right guys, I think that's it. I just wanted to make this video and clarify all of these things that people have been asking me for so many years, so that it's all condensed down into one place. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.